Superman. You made a Superman. That's my favorite superhero. And you made a Superman cape for me also as a guy that looks up to you, looks up to Ralph Lauren, looks up to American industry guys. Non-political, no bullshit, put the beep on it, however you want to do it, 5 seconds delay, and just goes in and gets it done. Right now, you gave me the heart to go to Adidas, because at Adidas, when I went in 2015, we were a $14 billion company losing $2 billion a year. Now we have a $38 billion market cap. It's called the Yeezy effect. And I went to Casper. We had a meeting in Chicago. And I said, you have to bring manufacturing onshore, not even shore, into the core. It's not about the borders, the core of Adidas. And Chicago is the core of Middle America. And we have to make Middle America strong. So I had the balls, because I had enough balls to put on this hat. I mean, this Adidas thing made me a billionaire, and I could have lost $200 million walking away from that deal. But even with that, I knew it was more important for me to take the chance of walking away from that deal than to have no fathers in Chicago with no homes. And when we do have prison reparation for because it's habilitation, not rehabilitation, because we didn't have the abilities in the first place. We never had anyone that taught us. We didn't teach us. Exactly. We had no one that taught us, right? So it's more important than any specific deal, anything, that we bring jobs into America.
Stop right
and
there.
That we...
Kanye West talked about the value of Adidas. Go to my iPad, please. According to this breakdown here, the brand value of Adidas in 2015 was $6.2 billion, and then it was in 2007 it was $7.9 billion. Not quite sure where he got the $14 billion and $38 billion from. So the second thing is, when you talk about what Kanye West just said, did you just hear him say prison reparations? So is Kanye West saying that he is supportive of the United States providing reparations to African Americans? If so, he might want to further explain that. He talked about the need for jobs as well. Of course, the fundamental problem with violence in Chicago is not the issue of guns. It's actually jobs and education, which actually has been a problem for the last 70 to 80 years, because that's all as a result of Jim Crow. Chicago is called one of the most segregated cities in the United States. Folks might not want to talk about 1983, when Congressman Harold Washington was running for mayor, and when Walter Mondale came to Chicago to campaign with him on the north side, they bombed his car with eggs, attacking Harold Washington and Walter Mondale, because white folks in Chicago did not want to see a black man to become mayor of the city. Why? Because he would be in control of those resources. You don't want to talk about the political folks on the city council, Ed Verdoliak and others, who said we're going to stop Harold Washington from doing anything while he is mayor of Chicago. See, those are things that Kanye West somehow does not want to mention. And so when you talk about bringing jobs back to Chicago, well, then I'm trying to understand, Kanye, then what is the person across from you doing about that? Because Donald Trump has never presented a plan for Chicago. Just so y'all know, I've been at 2 of the 3 meetings he's had with television anchors. There's only one person who was in that room who has ever asked Donald Trump about Chicago and his plan for Chicago. And you're looking at him. And do you know what he said? My plan is strength. That was the word that he used. Now, it was an off-the-record meeting, so I decided to go ahead and tell you exactly what took place. Because, see, what I can't stand is to continue lying about, let's do something about Chicago, when you were asked directly by me, what is your plan for Chicago? And the answer was strength. That was the answer. Now, maybe he's thinking Kanye gets power from wearing that red hat. Somehow that's his cape. But the reality is, strength is a word. It's not a plan.